Hey, what up YouTube? How you doing? It's Terrence Barker, and in this video we're going to go over a few terms and definitions. That way it is very easily to be understood when we're manufacturing this soap. So with that, let's get to it.
Every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Alright, like I said in the prelude, this video is about terms and definition when it comes to manufacturing soap. The reason why this is important is because, once again, we want everybody up on the same exact page when we're communicating to each other. That way we have a clear, concise, and complete understanding when we're going through the soap making process. Now we're almost there. You know, we already went through the lye safety. Now we're going to go through the terms and definitions. And after that, I have a video that I promise you about is to manufacture your own very cold process soap.
Oh, right!
Alright, so let's get to it and let's break down a few of these terms and definitions so we can get to the soap making process. Now, one of the things that you need to manufacture cold process soap is a thing called lye. And the lye that we're going to be using in particular, because there's two different types, is going to be sodium hydroxide. I'm going to show you how to pour it in to your water solution or your liquid solution, and then we're going to discuss some things about a lye calculator. Alright, and now we are about to pour our lye into the water. It's nice and easy. Pour it in there. Bam! There you have it. Would you look at that? Wasn't that easy? Yeah! It's not that hard. Yes, there's a lot of safety cautions that you need to take into consider when you're using lye. Like I said, ventilated area, you need your gloves. You want to use something plastic or stainless steel. You want to stay away from different types of metals, as I explained in the two safety lye safety videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you in the description below a link to two different soap calculators. The first one is going to be from Bristleberry. The next one will be from soapcal.net. The reason why is because in Bristleberry is easy peasy. All you do is gotta add the amount of oils based upon the amount of size of your soap mold that you're gonna do, and then the lye water calculation will be already done for you. In soapcal.net, it does the same thing, but it goes a little bit deeper. It gives you insight upon how deep cleansing and how hard the bar may be or soft the bar may be when you're trying to produce it. So don't think I'm going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to leave you hanging. No, I'm not going to leave you out there like, man, hey, you done gave me all this information. What am I supposed to do next? No, I got you. So whoa, slow and pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. I got you.
Alright, now that we're done with our lye section, we're going straight into the definitions. The first definition that is up is embeds. Embeds are pieces of soap that are embedded into the soap batter during the soap making process, just like this one. This one right here is a 9mm Beretta that we made out of melt and pour soap and embedded it into our cold process soap. It can be done a number of ways. Embeds can be manufactured from cold process as well as melt and pour soap. It's just all on what you want to do with your embeds before you mold them and place them in your soap bars.
Alright you guys, the next one that is up is soda ash. Soda ash is a powdery white residue that sometimes forms on the surface of soaps. Can be drying to the skin, but it's easily wiped off the bar of soap with a damp cloth. As you can see right here in this one, we do have some of that soda ash residue on top of this soap bar. This is something that can be easily wiped off, as already stated, but this is something that normally does happen to your soaps, and this is one of those terms that you might have to understand. It is not to be confused with something that is like lye heavy, as in, you know, having that lye trace on the outside of your bar. This right here is just a pure, you know, view of what soda ash looks like. All right.
Okay.
Now, one of the most important definitions that I'm going to use in this video is something called trace. I have a visual of it in our soap making video, but keep this one in mind. As a matter of fact, write it down. Basically, trace is when you combine your alkaline along with your fats, which is your lye, water, along with your oils, and to formulate something that is a pudding-like substance, and when you drizzle it along, it leaves a trail behind. Now, the other important definition that I'm going to use is cure. Cure is basically the evaporation of water out of your soap bars. This is important because normally you need about 4 to 6 weeks of cure time, sometimes more depending on your oils, to evaporate the water out of the bars to be ready for sale or for use. Also, it changes the pH level as well as the weight of your bar to make it safe for use. Now, one way to tell is that these two bars are 2 weeks apart. One is a lot more harder, such as this one. If I squeeze this bar right here, you will not see any imprints right behind. All right, but if I squeeze this one right here, as you can see an imprint left behind of how soft this bar is. Why? Because this bar right here needs to cure a little bit longer than this bar. This bar is pretty much ready to go. All right. One of the other most important definitions that we're going to use in this video is called superfatting. Superfatting is basically when you have unspunified oils left over in your soap mixture. This right here is highly important because you have more fats than required in your soap. That way you don't have any lye residue left over. That way you can have a little bit more moisturizing capabilities in your soap. It's very good and highly to do. Also, if you forget to have an oil inside your soap making batch, because you have enough unspunified oils left over, you should be balanced out. So superfatting is highly recommended when you're manufacturing your soap bar. It's not only a safety measure, but it also helps the soap be a little bit more moisturizing. Now, the last definition that we're going to cover is basically natural. Natural is anything that is not synthetic that comes from the earth. May it be organic or non-organic. That's highly important because we do have fragrances that are non-natural and versus essential oils that are natural, and the other ingredients that we will be using when we manufacture our cold process soap. Now, when it comes to this recipe that I'm going to leave below, it's going to be something that's easy and simple. Yeah, you want to keep it at like 5% super fat. We're going to walk you through on how to do it in a cold process soap making video that I have coming right up after this. But I did not really put out too much info because I just want to put out the basics. I do not want you guys to imitate. I want you guys to be able to create your own. but this right here is going to give you the fundamentals and get you started with simple, easy to purchase oils that will take you along in your journey. Alright, but beyond that, let me close this thing out. You know, like, comment, and subscribe below. False Life, and I'm out.